Hi guys. Can you hear me?
Hey Raghavan, good evening.
Hi, Dhananjay. Good evening. Hi, Uday. Good evening.
With your teeth now?
Yeah, better still. I'm not completely able to managing. Thank you.
Okay.
Because we don't have the other trainer available, so I thought I'll manage. Hi, Lakshmi. Hi, Lakshmi. Thanks. I'm good. Better.
Hi,
Thank you.
Raghavan.
Hey.
Hope you're doing good.
Yeah. Better than yesterday. Still, not
Yeah,
completely.
it will
all
last
right.
for more than 3 days, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Of course. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for checking though. So let me see who else. Do we have all of us join the call? I'll have a quick check. Bishal, I think he's joining for the first time. Is it? Hi, Bishal. Good morning or good evening. Dhananjay. Hey. Okay. I'm not able to hear you. I hope probably is it only to me or for others as well.
No, we also can't hear.
Okay. Hi, Bishal. Probably you might need to check your audio. Thank you. So thanks for that confirmation, Lakshmi. Hi, Lakshmi, Dhananjay, Asya, Parvesh, Uday also joined yesterday. Yeah, he didn't attend the other classes. Vinita, hi, Vinita. Vinita is from my other batch, whom I'm training. I requested her to join. Thanks for joining, Vinita. You can confirm the other people as well. I think Arun joined, isn't it? Arun, Chakravarti, Teja, Vamsi. I think Vamsi had joined. Hi, Vamsi. Okay. Okay, no problem, Uday. First 2 lectures as Vishal. Okay, thanks. No problem. Good to hear that. Okay. I think we will get started, guys. Kindly bear with me. I'm trying to manage myself with the best of my abilities, right? I thought it's just a basics of Java we will cover. So a couple of questions. I think all of us are the participants of WhatsApp group, isn't it? You hope you are. I think Dashika is joining. Can you please quickly confirm to this? Parvesh, for your kind information also, right? Attention. All of you are a part of WhatsApp group. We hope nobody is left out here, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yes,
Okay, thank you. Great. And all of you, I did share the video recording as well as the slides. So did you get that? Did you get a chance to look at that? Are you all able to access
Yes.
the previous 2 lectures? Okay, thanks, Dhananjay. I hope the same for others as well, isn't it? Can couple more people confirm it?
yeah, yes, Raghavan. We've
Sure.
gone through it.
Thank you. Except Vamsi and Vinita, whom probably it's the same thing what we already covered in our batch. They are my other students, right? So we have seen the basics of Vinita and Vamsi, right? We have seen about the compilers, interpreters, etc. Right? That is what we covered yesterday. Okay. All right. So with that said, good morning and good evening. I assume except Lakshmi, rest of all are from India, isn't it? Except Lakshmi alone, she is from the USA, right? So,
Yes, sir. Yes.
yeah. Okay, great. Thanks. So good morning to you, Lakshmi, and good evening to the rest of all, right? Thank you for joining. Let's get started. So we have seen, okay, Tata Para. Yeah, he is a person who joins. And there is a, hi, how should I call him? Tata or Apara? Hey, Apara. Hi. Let me see.
Yeah, hi.
Possibly people can turn on the videos. That helps, right? Probably we'll get to see each other or as a face to face. So Apparao, right? Tata is your surname, is it Apparao?
Tata is my surname. Yeah, my name is like Afar.
Sure. Thanks, Apparao. Right.
By the time.
I don't know. I think your video has a problem. Audio. You can check that out, right? Okay. Thanks. Okay, thanks Apara for turning on. Yeah, whoever could possibly turn on the camera, if not today, sometimes it will be good to see the people in person, right? We get to see whom I'm talking. You also get to see whom you are talking to, right? So I'm not insisting, but probably hi Dashika, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for that, right? So it's really good to see the people whom we are connecting to, right? I understand you may be confined by the bandwidth. Most of us may not have the 5G or hi-fi router capacity, but that's just some gentle suggestion and advice from my side. Whenever we connect in a video call or many people, it's always good to, probably not for the entire duration, at least for a few minutes. Hi Lakshmi, good to see you. Hi Parvesh, good to see you as well. Thank you for turning. I really appreciate that, right? So you can be turned on with the video for a while, but as long as you think you're okay to, right? If you remember on the day one of induction session, you all might have seen me. You all would have seen me, right? At least I don't know, somebody would have felt that you're talking to a human being, yes or no? Is that right? Rather than showing everything as a black boxes with just only name, this at least gives some feeling, some red color, blue color, right? Some different colors and different face. All of us are unique creatures by God, right? We have our own creatures with Him, right? So which is always good to have gesture, I would say, right? So please feel free. If not today, thank you for the people who turned on the camera, to turn on the video. Feel free to turn it off whenever you want, right? But I would appreciate as long as you stay connected. For the others as well, I would say probably please do come prepared so that I get to see you. Either you see me, obviously you are seeing me. I would like to see the people in person, right? At least not in person, as who am I talking to when we address it, right? Okay, thanks. With that said, I'll share my screen. We'll get into the discussion as what we started. So this is what yesterday we have looked at it, right? Hope you're all able to see my screen. Can you please confirm?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes,
Sure,
sir, we are
thank you.
Yes, sir.
So I just made a little bit of directory structure so that it makes meaningful sense. Day one, this is what yesterday we have seen. Hello world.java and sum of two numbers, right? We have seen the compiler throwing errors, all that. So let's do this hello world.java, it get compiled and it prints hello world, nothing wrong. Just a quick revision, right? Vijay, I think Vijay is joining, right? Nothing crazy. I'm just quick refresher. I'm doing it, right? Likewise, other program is sum of two numbers.java. I have actually rectified that error. What was the error we made yesterday? Let me go again. Hey Vijay,
Hi sir, good evening.
good evening. Thanks for joining. Probably you can.
ఆఫీస్ లో ఉన్నాయి ఇప్పుడు మెసేజ్
No problem. నాకు అర్థమైంది. మీకు కావాలంటే మ్యూట్ చేయొద్దు. Right? No problem. Thanks. You can be muted. Yeah. Thanks. So thanks for joining though. Right. So what is that? The program that we made a mistake yesterday, guys? Just a quick recap. Can somebody tell me?
The
System
keyword
with the two
system is
M's.
2Ms.
System has got two M's. So when I try to, and if I have the program, what does that I have? Only .java. So when I compile, what will happen? Any guess? Somebody? If I compile the program, what will happen?
Gonna throw the error
Okay. How
at
many errors?
line 9 and line 10.
Okay, exactly. It will throw, see again, I'm repeating the fact because it's a compiler that translates a source code all at once, not line by one line and then it gets stuck there. So that's a reinforcing of thought that it's a Java compiler that works now, right? So and we'll also look at that. Do I have any .class file generated? No, right? Yes or no, guys? Can you please be interactive?
Yeah, no.
So until otherwise, let's assume I go here and then I resolve it. Probably I was in a hurry. I thought, okay, this is done. So I am rectifying it. So I have rectified this and I'm trying to. Now again I do this, what will happen? It will still give an error until and otherwise complete program is bug free, error free, right? It doesn't allow any single mistake to be present. It's a strict teacher. All right. So we need to go there and then rectify all. That is why compiler is giving you the complete set of information, right? Saying that, boss, it is all done. Now you can go ahead and clean it. If there are no errors, if you give Java C and it doesn't, I hope that basics you can cover that. You install Java. All of us are clear on that. Installing Java JDK. I didn't really teach that. Probably last year, Lakshmi, you're all clear. And I take
Yes.
others for granted. In case you guys are having any trouble, let me know. All of us are connected in WhatsApp. Myself or Parvesh will be able to help you, right? Okay, so now if the Java C doesn't return anything on the, this is called console or terminal, whatever you call it as. In Windows, command prompt or console, they're all different names that we give it for, right? So if it doesn't print anything, doesn't throw anything, what does that mean? The compilation was successful, right? If there was an error, it throws something, correct? If nothing is thrown, nothing is printed in the console, that means the compilation was successful. That's what you have seen. Nothing great, I'm just revising it, right? So now what do we have? A successful .class file generated. Yes or no? Now what should I do to run this?
Java, sum of two numbers.
Excellent. Can I do this? So let's say like this. Hey Uday, thank you. Yeah, for turning on the camera. I appreciate it. Good to see you, Uday. Yeah. Can I do this? Why I am not able to run this .class? Please pay attention here.
Dot class is like byte code, right? So we can't run that one.
Okay. Any other answers? That's a good attempt, Lakshmi.
Yeah, I feel like it's the syntax for it to run with the Java and just the file name, not with the extension.
Thanks,
Yeah, the
Bhaskar.
command. The same command we are expecting. So there is not required dot class.
Who is speaking? Probably I'm not able to recognize.
Uday.
Uday, hi Uday. Okay, sorry, I couldn't see you. Okay, good try. But this is a very important point.
Camera, you are able to see, right?
Yeah, you can turn off. No problem. If there is a bandwidth issue, thanks. That's what I'm saying, right? Whoever has a good bandwidth.
No, I'm good for both. So I think you are able to hear me, right?
Now I can hear you. Yes.
Yeah,
Now I can hear you.
Yeah, that's
so.
What
This is a
like
very
command we are expecting. The same, like it's not named dot class.
Why? That's right. The answer is right. We have an answer in front of us, right? It doesn't really help us. It doesn't really give us an output. Yes or no? It doesn't really give us an output. But why is my question? I think I've told you yesterday.
Our comment is wrong, that I can say, because that JVM is expecting Java and file name if it is a converted as a byte file.
You are close there, Uday. Good this image, what you have seen yesterday, right? What you have seen, see here. What are you actually loading this? Though I say the dot class for the file, but this is just for your understanding. I've written as dot Java and dot class, right? Here is dot Java, here is dot class that is generated. But please pay attention when you load a file, when you don't load a file into the compiler, Java. Right? Java virtual machine, all you need is to load the class, not the file. In the operating system, let's assume I go here. Do you see that? Yes or no? This is a file. This is my file system, correct? Your C drive in Windows. This is a file which is physically locatable in a computer. Clear? You don't need this file to be placed, but the name of the class. What was the class that is compiled? Understood? The JVM really needs the name of the class, but not the name of the file. So when you try to run the class with the class dot class, the extension, the JVM tries to load a class with the dot class as an extension suffix. So do I have a class named, say, assuming that, what is my class name? What
Sum
is
of
my
two
class
numbers.
name?
Sum
Yeah,
of two numbers.
my class name is sum of two numbers.
Yeah.
As if I have this as like this. For example, can I have, just assume I have a class. Do I have a class like this? Name of the class? Assume if you had a class like this, when you compile, how it would have compiled? Just assume. It's not right. It's not a valid syntax. Assuming that this is permitted, then if you compile the class, how it will generate? Sum of C, for example, just for the sake of discussion, I'm saying that, right? Assuming that I have, how do we typically compile? Then if the class name of the class is public class sum of two numbers, then we compile the class as Java C sum of two numbers dot Java. Yes or no? That's a file name. Now, assuming this is what the class name, correct? I told you for an example. Sum of two numbers dot class dot Java. This is how we would compile, and if it would be compiled as sum of two numbers dot class dot class, right? This is how it will treat if you try to load this dot class. But are we doing like this? No. All we need is what? It expects Java, it expects just the name of the class, not the name of the file. Understood? This is again absolute beginner fundamental concept. So it's not the name of the file, dot class file, it's the name of the class. What is the name of the class? What you have specified. Yes or no?
Yes.
This we haven't talked yesterday, but I just wanted to give you that as well. Are you clear? Any questions on this? So you should not specify any extension when you load the file into the JVM. I'm sorry, you should not even say file. When you load a class, Java class loading, it only loads the class, not the file. It'll pick up, not to worry. But somebody, I expected a question. Raghavan, Harsar, when you say that you are only loading this, right? Sum of two numbers. But ultimately the class is what is getting loaded into JVM. How does the JVM understand, or how does it pick up that the class? Where does it pick the class from? Yes or no? Can somebody tell me that? I'm only giving this. Yes. What are the files I have here? What are the files I have? Matching with sum of two numbers. What are all the files do I have?
Dot Java, dot class
Not
files.
yeah.
Do I have anything called sum of two numbers alone without any extension?
No.
But I am giving that without any extension. Then how does the JVM pick up?
JVM inbuilt with searches for the class name, which is a sum of two numbers.
Okay,
That's it.
it is okay.
Yeah.
Good attempt. Anybody else? Others, whoever are present in the class, right? Experienced people should respond. Dhananjay, or I don't know what the response. Chakravarti, Yatish, whoever had been working on. Even Parvesh, you could also give it a try. Right? I'm
I
not
think
too
it
sure
was-
about.
Yeah, I think JVM will be expected the class file. Means the dot class extension will be add like I can say. Yeah, JVM is expecting this dot class file only. So if it's giving the name, then it automatically will think, okay, this is dot class file. Any other type of file, then JVM will not be accepted.
Yeah, there is something called class path. There is a variable class path. That is a very important concept in Java. It's more like you all know what is a path.
Yeah.
Echo dollar path. What is a path? Environment
Path.
variable we say, right? It's an environment variable. It contains the list of directories within which an operating system can look for the required files. Yes or no? In your Windows, you go type CMD. What happens? You type CMD or you type Excel.
Yeah.
From the command prompt, you type. What happens? You type Notepad. What happens?
It
Will
go
directly
to
open that
path
particular.
notepad.
That particular tool or utility or application. Yes or no? How do you think it opens?
Yeah.
How do you think it opens that? all these utilities, right? CMD, let's say for example, CMD, Notepad, Calc, right? Or etc. These are all present in Windows I'm talking about, right? In the directory called system32 or system, which is inside your C:\Windows directory. That is why, and it is added, this directory, which directory? C:\system32 is added to the environment variable named path. That is a common environment variable which contains all the possible locations or directories with which the executables or binaries are present. Only then the operating system is able to understand that, okay, this is where I have the file. There is a orderly separated. Can somebody, how many of you use Windows here? Okay, Lakshmi, you are a great volunteer. Can you please go to a command, type path, just type path or echo path and print the environment variables. Print to the chat here. Go to your Windows, command, type echo path. There in Windows, you need to do this, echo/path. This is what you should do in Windows. /path/. That is in Windows. But in Mac and Linux, it is $ and all capital. And try to print the variable, what you get to see, and you can print it in the chat. Yeah. I hope rest of others are still with me, right? Chakravarti, Vamsi, Teja, Lasya, Yatish.
So when I say echo
Yes,
slash
Raghavan,
path,
till now
it
I was
is
facing network
giving the
issue.
path, that's it. The entire path that is which is we stored for the system variables, right? It's not showing like that, but only the path that I wrote, it is showing.
No,
It is
you
echoing
need
the
to
same
give
thing.
like this. Echo percentage, path percentage. You need to give this. Yes, somebody printed. Very good. Who is that? Okay, Yatish printed. Thank you. Hi, Vishal. Thank you. You are able to see my screen, right? You're able to see my screen, all of you? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, do you see that? C:\Windows system32. I just told you. Yes or no? Do you see the path here? C:\Windows
Oh,
32.
we cannot see your chat boxes. So what if you are showing in Zoom chat, we cannot see.
No, I'm sharing it in my Zoom window itself. My entire screen is shared.
No,
I'm
your
sharing.
Zoom share. Is it only for me or others? Can you see what Raghavan sir is saying?
No, for me also the same thing only.
Okay, let me open it. Okay, no problem.
For
Not a
that,
Zoom,
you have to
okay.
open the meeting chart. If you open meeting chart, you can see.
That's what I'm having. I'm
No,
opening
meeting chat you cannot share. Anything that comes in Zoom window, you cannot share by default by security.
it. Okay, no problem. I'll close this and print it here. No worries. Whatever you have taken. I'm just sharing it here. Now we're able to see.
Yes, sir.
You are able to see my screen now, right? What do you
Yes.
see it here? Somebody pasted, I think Lakshmi pasted this, right? Or I can open somebody else. I think Lakshmi also is there. Let me open that. I am opening that. Yeah. Do you see that? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Do you see this C:\Windows system32?
Yeah.
So this, you all of you can go and check. Go to this directory in your Windows and you see all the exes present there. Notepad.exe, calc.exe, etc. Right? And there is a concept. What do you see here? Is it only one path or you see many paths?
Many parts.
Many paths. How do you think the paths are separated?
So semicolon.
Semicolon, right? That's called, yeah, that's a path separator character. So what does it indicate? You are telling the operating system, your Windows machine, that I have so many different directories, so many different applications. Each of them may present in any of these directories. So you start looking for the programs whenever I ask for. See, two ways I can open the program. Yes or no? One is like this. Always I can do this. Yes or no? Yes or no, sir? These are the three different ways I can open an application in Windows. Can somebody disagreeing with me? Is anybody disagreeing? If you open this, the system will give you that particular application. Yes or no?
We are
Yes,
giving
sir.
complete
Yes,
path.
sir.
This is the longest way. This is the shorter. This is the shortest. You know what does it mean, correct? Do I have a volunteer who could help me by understanding the differences? Somebody who is not spoken so far. Any new volunteers I have? What is the difference between these three? Guys?
In the first
Okay.
line, you give the full path to Notepad.
Very good, Vijay. Yes. First line, I'm giving
Next
the
is,
complete path. Yeah. Second is
second is you giving the format for the Notepad.
not format, no
Format,
path, just the file name
file.
and application name and extension also.
The extension.
Third thing is I dropped
Only
the
the
extension,
application
only
name.
the application name, because the .exe is assumed, understood by Windows. All right. Which one do you think it is easy for you?
No,
There are
Notepad.
human beings.
Second
Why?
one.
Okay. Second, we have voting. Do anybody prefer the first one?
The third one is more easier.
Okay, good. Why do you think third one or second one is better? Why not first one? Is anybody voting for the first
Because
one?
that is taking the time to type.
Sorry.
Every time
have
if
to
we want
remember
to
all the
execute that
path.
one, we need to write all the line, right?
Very good. That's the main reason, right? We need to type everything, a long statement. Take an example of this. There is a long path, right? Take this example, right? See program. Do you see that? NVIDIA program files, NVIDIA Corporation. What is the problem, challenge in doing that? We may make a spelling mistake. We will not remember. All these are challenges, yes or no? So what do we do so rather than typing the whole path, assume, understand. The operating system will identify a file always from the directory, root directory, C:\program file. That is how it reaches to that program or file, right? There is no excuse. But what you tend to do, you make a shortcut. All of you would have seen this speed dial in the program, in the phone, yes or no? In the phone, we have I think my voice is echoing. Somebody should go on mute. I'm not sure from whom it is. Please go on mute. Sorry. Yeah. So in the phone, the older days we had a speed dial, Nokia phones. In the smartphones, we have a favorite. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
What is the difference? Why do we use the favorite? Why do you use favorites?
Like frequently called the numbers.
Very good. Then
For a quicker
To get fast
access.
access.
very good, very good. Fast access. Then the fast
Speed
access
and
itself. Sorry.
We can make contact within a short span of time.
Correct. Time saving. That's the right answer. You don't need to type the 10 digits of mobile number every time. Correct. That's basically it's a laziness. I would put it that way. But just because you type 2, assuming speed dial, does it mean that the phone dials 2, or it has got the number associated with the 2 and that is dialing to that number?
Associated.
You all agree with me, right? There is no number called 2. Yes, you agree with me, right? There is no number called 2. There is a number which is 98452 23567, whatever it is, and that is mapped to the shortcut key called 2. So when you dial 2, that is an actual number being dialed. You agree with me, right?
Yes.
That's the exact thing happens when you type just a notepad in your program. So the computer, the operating system will go and look for the program matching with the directory in what order. It will start from this left to right, whichever path you get it. whichever path that first contains, saying that, okay, what is the first path I have here before semicolon?
Program file.
Java path, right? Common files, Oracle, Java path.
Yeah.
It will go and search for, you are my first path. Do you have notepad.exe in you? Will it have?
No.
No. Then what it will do?
No,
It will go to
it will go for next end.
next path. Now see Windows System 32. Do you have notepad.exe?
Yes.
Yes. Then it will append that path like this. Whatever we are doing, that it will do. Similar to how you dial 2 and the computer automatically associates a 10-digit mobile number and then it dials to that number. Yes or no?
Yes, Raghav.
Likewise, the computer here in terms of the program, the way I said computer is a phone, there also an operating system is present. Here as well, the programs are associated with the full path where it is matching and then it invokes that. Only then the program will get executed. Please don't forget this fact. There's no magic. As I told you yesterday, computers are dumb terminal. It doesn't have an intelligence. We need to tell. This has been programmed. Who wrote that program? The operating system, right? Windows operating system people wrote that logic. In Linux, who wrote the kernel, they wrote that logic. Understood? Agreed? So this is how the path environment variable helps you to locate a program. All of us are clear? Any questions? This is again absolute bare bone fundamentals, which you should be very clear on when the program is available. Yes or no? Any questions?
Yes,
Right.
Raghav.
Okay. So now the same way I do Java here, please pay attention. Sum of two numbers only I give. It is printing me a program output. How does it do? How does it associate? Even though I don't specify dot class, I only say the name of the file. So what is happening here is the Java virtual machine, when it is getting invoked, the JRE runtime environment and a call, the virtual machine will look for a class, but by associating the class, which file it will look for? Can somebody tell me? Make a guess. Which file will it look for? A dot Java
Dot
file or a
file.
dot class?
Dot class file. it
Class
will
file,
go.
class file.
Class file one.
No brainer, right? So dot class file, that is what it has got, the compiled version of the class. We have seen it yesterday. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, Raghav. Yes.
We have seen that, right? Load, store, algorithm. Yes or no? Now just see one more thing. What do I have for sum of two numbers? I have two files. Yes.
Yes.
I am moving this file to a different directory. Do I ever have a .java file here?
No.
No, Raghav.
I run this now. Does it run or not?
Yes.
Who asked that question yesterday? Was it?
Yeah,
Was
it
that?
runs, yeah.
Towards the end of the class, somebody asked Dhananjay. Was it Dhananjay or Dashika? Who asked that question? Teja, isn't it? Why do we have JDK not shipped with the JVM? Somebody asked that question. This is a perfect example. Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed?
Yes,
For
sir.
me to run the program, I don't need to necessarily have the .java with me. All I need is a compiled class. For an operating system, it has to locate a file, it needs a .class file. But a virtual machine, when it is loaded, it needs a class. So I have moved the .java source file outside. So do you see the .java file? No. Correct? Do you see? It only has a .class file. But am I still able to run the file or not? Run the program or not?
Yes.
Yes, Raghav.
That's the fundamentals. But in Java, there is one more environment variable called class path. What is that? You need to set that. Class path is again an environment variable. It is only for Java. Can somebody tell me what could it be used for? Can somebody make a guess at least?
Writing the classes location.
Exactly. Who said that?
Yatish.
Yatish, yes. Can you please make it better?
So the files which are needed by the JVM, so those will be placed in a particular file path. So it will fetch in the
Exactly.
particular path.
Excellent. That's right, Yatish. Yeah. So by default, the dot class path contains dot, the current directory. That is why it is able to pick up the file from the directory where you are executing. Now I am in day 01, day directory, right? I have what? This dot class present here, sum of two numbers dot class. Yes or no? Assuming that I move this as well to the outside directory. Do I have anything here? Anything match with sum of? Do I have?
No, Raghu.
No. Now I give this sum of two numbers. What does it say, sir? Could
Now
not
it
find
says
or load main.
that
There is no
recording.
dot class file present. The class path is an environment variable that helps us to locate the dot class file in which directory it is present. By default, it is associated. Dot is a special directory that indicates the current directory, right? Because it is present in the current directory, it is able to locate it and it is executing. Now I bring back my sum of two numbers dot class to here. Then I execute it. Now I get the file. You are all clear on this? The environment variable called path and class path.
Yes, Raghu. Yes.
Any questions from anybody?
No.
Okay, excellent. So let me go to, I'll also move the source code file. Sum of two numbers.java.data to day one, right? Right. Okay. I give you an assignment today. Please go check how do you set the class path. Here I have moved the class path to the parent directory, right? How do you set the class path so that you will pick up the file and execute it still? Can you please take a note? Just a quick assignment you can try. The dot class file, right? Let me tell you that before I get to the other agenda for the day. Just understand this. I move sum of two numbers dot class outside. Now what do I have? Matching with the name, what do I have? Just a .java. Yes or no? I'm reversing it. Now I'm reversing it. Do you guys follow me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So now I still try to run. I'm not able to pick up. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Raghu. Sure.
Why? I've already explained. You know the reason why I'm not able to run the file now and the program now. Sorry, I shouldn't be saying the file. You can compile also everything. We can talk in terms of a class. You shouldn't say file, right? My bad. So why I'm not able to run the class, run the program, or load a class?
Because it was unable to find dot class file.
Exactly. The class that you are trying to load, there is no dot class file present in the class path location. It is not able to locate a class, right? It is as good as in your Windows. Can you type notepad double-D ending with one more D? Somebody can help. Bishal, can you try that? You give notepad one more D, NOTEPADD, and see what happens. What does it give? Bishal Paul. Notepad double D ending with double D. Anybody can try, not just Bishal. Anybody who's gonna give me the answer first.
Not recognized. Correct.
Sorry.
Yeah, it is showing notepad is not recognized as command.
Not
I have
recognized as a command.
pasted it in the chart.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Not recognized. Correct. It's not recognized as an internal or external command. Excellent. So exactly that's what is happening here as well. We don't have the dot class file associated to the class in the location. Now the assignment, what I want you to make is do something with respect to the class path environment variable so that even though the dot class is not present in the current directory, but where it is present, the dot class, can you see where it is present, the dot class? I am trying to run it in day 01. Here I don't have a dot class, only I have a sum of two numbers dot Java. But where is the dot class file present? It is in the
A2.
parent directory, one level above.
Parent
Correct?
director of
So
day one,
you need to do some correct. Exactly. I just moved double dot. Dot means current directory. Double dot means one level above parent directory. So take an assignment so that, and also the clue I have given you is that you need to make some settings to the class path environment variable so that From within day 01, you will be able to locate and execute, load the class sum of two numbers and execute it. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So please
Yes, sir.
try to
Yes, sir.
submit the solution. Yeah, please do that. Take it as an assignment. All right. Now I'm moving to the actual rest of the agenda for the day. Okay, move this file, sum of two numbers dot class. Okay, let it be here. No problem. So I would go to, let's go step by step. What is the agenda I have prepared? It's all very basics, right? I will keep it. So Java is case sensitive. What do you mean by case sensitive?
Means
What is
It is
case?
a capital letter, it is capital letter only. It is small letter, it is small letter only. We should not change the case.
Correct. If it is a mixed case, it doesn't really what do you call it? It is not friendly, right? Let's assume I type this Java and I type this Java. These two are not same. I'll explain you the program. Case sensitive demo.java. I've just typed some programs just to save the time, right? What do you see here in the program? Can I have volunteer?
Yeah, like in the age, we are getting like the two variables, which is in the according to the spellings, both are same, but one is a capital A, one is completely small.
Very good, Vijay. Yeah, Vishal, you are not there in WhatsApp. We will add you. Parvesh, please do that. I hope you, Parvesh, you are still there in the call. Okay, I'll get it done. No problem. Vishal, thanks. I get that added. No problem. Vishal, I'll please remind me once, right? Okay, that's good. Thanks, Uday. So we have two different variables with just the case math differing, correct? For us, it doesn't matter. It seems to be the same, correct? And what is the value we have, sir? First variable, what is the value? Second variable, what is it? What are we doing? What is this program trying to do? I have two different variables. They are just differing by one single letter. And I'm trying to print the age as what variable I give? One age I give. Which value do you think it will print? That's the question. 5 or 6?
5.
How many says 5? 5. Is there anybody who says 6? Anybody who thinks it will print 6? Because I declared age subsequently, so it might have get overwritten, something like that. Anybody thinks it's 6?
No, 5.
No.
Oh, we are clear. Let's try and execute it. Java C case sensitive demo.java. Yes, I should do this step. Then what should I do? You get 5. Correct? Why? Why do you think it prints 5?
Because both are different.
Right.
As you already mentioned, Java is case sensitive. It
Hmm.
was picking up the value from first one.
Smart answer. Right. But what is actually doing? Correct. That's the actual reason. What it is doing. I am, even though, see, please pay attention. I purposefully did that trick. Here within double quotes, I print capital A. Correct? But it doesn't matter. Does it actually point to a variable?
No.
It's a constant. It's just
No,
a
it's
print.
just
Anything
Yeah.
you give, just a
Print, yeah.
statement, right? It will print whatever you give it. But this is what matters. What is this variable I'm actually pointing to? The one starts with
Value.
small a.
Small a.
So that value is what being printed. Is it clear? It's a very simple fundamental thing. So that is the best case that Java is case sensitive. Even though you tend to have two different variables matching with almost same cases, but this Java is not equal to this Java. All three are different. Yes or no?
Yes.
All are
Yes,
different.
sir.
Clear?
Yes.
So that's it, right? That's a fundamental thing. I'll go with the next agenda. Okay, let me open new tab. I'll keep that rather than going back and forth. Yeah, I'll keep it here. Variable versus constants. We have another concept called variable and constant. What is a variable? What is a constant? Have you heard of it? I'm just taking, I know most of you guys are aware of this. except few people who are totally new or who had a break. I'm just covering that as a basic, right? And I wish to run it a bit fast. So obviously I would expect people to be more interactive. Don't keep on, let me repeat the same thing asking for volunteers. I would really appreciate and thank people who really fill in without me asking for every question, please, right?
Yes.
Yeah, thanks. So have you heard the term variable or constant?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
Raghavan, yes.
Who's
Variables
gonna?
and constants
please.
basically both used to store values. Yeah, it's a Chakravarti.
Okay.
Yeah,
Very good,
Raghavan.
yes.
Yeah, variables and constants both are used to store values only. But the thing, difference where it comes means variables can be used to store the data, and they will be pointing to the location to the value. But once we declare the constant, it cannot be changed. While
good.
the variables value can be changed.
Thank you, Chakra. That's exactly the thing. These two are values of a variable. But in literal English meaning, you think variable. It can vary. The value can be changed over a point of time, or a period of time. That is variable. When you say constant, what is constant in simple English?
Fixed, we can say.
Static.
Fixed. Very good.
Yeah.
Not static. Sorry, who said static? Static is different. Who said that?
Yeah, Lasya.
Lasya, no problem, Lasya. Static is a bit different. We will cover that later. Thank you for attempting it. No problem, right? But that is not correct. Fixed variable. It's fixed. It cannot change over time, right? Assuming that I wrote a program here, variable versus constants. If you look at it, int age equal to 30. Assume we are writing a program to have probably a matrimonial application or a licensing application, right? So what is these two? Int age equal to 30. This is for one person's age. What is the next line? It says final int min age equal to 80. So does it give a ring a bell? Anybody can understand? Can somebody tell me what?
Yeah, it's a constant.
Finally, it's a
you
keyword
say?
which will be make it as a constant.
It's a
By
keyword. We'll
using
talk
the
about keyword as well.
Yeah.
Final is an additional clause or a word that we add. It's final. Final means what? Like fixed and final means what? This is final value. It cannot take anything else, correct? Final means
We can
final,
say like we
last.
cannot update the final.
It will not take any more changes. It's final.
Yeah.
Deal. Final. You say this is a final value. You cannot have any more. So the rest everything is same, right? Int age, int min age. Yes or no?
Yes.
Do I have any
Yes,
other volunteer who observes something else in
It's
this line that I
capital. It's mentioned in the capital, that variable
why?
name. Because we are identifying it is a final one.
Correct. That is a convention, not necessary. Just we wanted to highlight the users who read our program that if any value is highlighted all in capital means it's a constant. It is more like in English, like how we read it, right? Like after the dot, what do we start saying? Let's say this is a thing we have read yesterday, right? After the dot, what is the first letter starts in? Which case it is after the dot?
Capital letter.
You know the reason why, correct? It's a convention, correct? It's a beginning of a statement. So the first letter should be in capital, correct? Something like that. We represent the variables all in capital to indicate that it's a constant. Just a guideline. Doesn't matter, you can still type it in normal age also. But whenever you write it in program, you will understand that it is a constant. Correct?
Yes.
Yes or no?
So readability
Now
we can say.
For readability, correct. So people who goes through now this is only 10 line. What if you have 20 lines, 30 lines program? You don't really remember how it was declared on the line 1. It is final or not. So only by looking at the variable name, you will have a better understanding that that's a constant. I'll make one more program subsequently, right? Let's finish this program. What does it say? We are printing the ages, yes or no?
Yes.
2 age I'm printing. Now we can change this age. What age I'm changing? Age equal to age plus 1. I am doing arithmetic operation, right? What will happen to this age now? 30 will become
Increased by 1.
31.
Can we change the min age as well?
No.
Min age equal to
No.
min age plus 1.
Because final
No.
is the
Let's see what happens.
It will throw
Java
error.
C. Java C. Obviously, whoever had guessed it, you are right. What does it say, sir?
Because that is final.
It is giving you everything very clearly. What does it say? First of all, there is an error. Which line number?
11.
11. What are we doing? What is the message it says?
We
Cannot
are
assign a
assigning one more
value
value.
The
to a
final
final variable. It has been finalized. It has been finalized. It has been given one last value. You cannot give anything more. It cannot change. It cannot vary. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Varies, can vary, or change is called what? Variable. Yes or no?
Hmm.
Fixed or finalized is what? Final or constant. Yes, makes sense. We cannot change it. Understand? Let's make one more program here. So I'm commenting it out. Yes or no? Now will it run?
Yes.
Yes. Why it says, sir? What happened?
Not compiled.
Java C, you are not compared.
Why should I?
JVM
You have
request
to
hard
compare,
class.
then only we can execute it.
Correct. I have never compiled the program at all. Correct?
Yes.
Yes or no? So Java C, variable versus constant at Java. Now I have this. Get it? 30, 18. Now the age is changed to 31. Now let's make one more just to help you understand it better. Let's assume, I know you all have heard this, right? There's another data type called float.
Pi, yeah.
What is it, PI?
So pi.
Pi value.
Variable.
What is
Pi
pi?
value.
Where do you use it?
Circle.
In mathematics,
Mm.
22/7.
Constant
Exactly,
value.
3.14 pi, right? What I'm gonna do now?
Find the radius of a circle.
Very
Find
good.
area of circle.
Excellent. So what is the formula?
Pi r square.
Yes, pi r
R square, what do I do?
Radius
Now
into
you pay attention. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Now why I don't get the value, sir? Please pay attention. Why I didn't get my radius here? I want all of us to be participating equally. Lasya, the rest of others as well, right? Dhananjay, I am not hearing. Teja, whether
I
you guys
think
are
the
active.
first one acts as a concatenation.
Sorry. Now what did I
The
do
first,
here?
so you made it like a new line to make it as pi r square. So the first one will append it. Initially, it was a string literal.
No,
Plus
look at
pi.
the commands. I added these statements. That's a change I made into the program, right? What is that further I did? Please pay
You
attention.
didn't compare. You didn't compare. You are
Yeah,
running the
you are declaring
previous
pi,
one.
but Java. No, sir. Pi won't be recognized by Java. We need to import the package or the class
No,
in
that is fine. It's not about math pi. I didn't declare the math pi
which
constant.
it
Where you're,
belongs
that's
to.
fine. I am
No,
just
here
declaring
you
a
didn't
constant.
compared. Actually, you are compared the old
Compilation.
one and you are running that old one.
Very good. Who is
Yeah,
saying
dot
that?
class file is not updated.
It's Uday who is giving me answer.
Yeah, Uday
Right,
only.
very good. So that's a good answer, Uday. This is where I definitely people whoever could answer, they are focusing. Rest of others, I don't know, either they are not understanding or you are not focusing. You are not totally inclined. I would generally request and recommend and advise you turn off your mobile. I don't see you also. Please turn off your mobile and totally stick to the screen and watch me out. Right? Otherwise you will easily get lost. Please don't keep your phone next to you or put it in silent mode if at all. Right? This is an absolute basic. I'm bringing it out for the benefit of the people like Lazia, and Lakshmi a couple more, whoever is just probably few more people who are fresh out of the college are just new to Java, right? And it would be a good refresher for the people who are experienced as well, right? So I did make a change. Do I have everybody's attention now? I just wanted to check how many of you are actively
Yes, sir.
listening to me.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
I
sir.
only
Yes.
hear from
Yes,
4
sir.
or 5. Rest of others are just
Yes,
blindly
Raghavan
dumb.
is listening.
Right. I only hear from few people.
Yes, we are.
Right. So I made a change to the source code, but that was not effectively compiled. Any change that you make into the source code should have to be recompiled. Only then the latest version of the class will be loaded. Yes, agreed? So now I can go here and see sum of two numbers.java, not
Yes,
sum of,
Raghavan, yes.
sorry, variable versus constant.class. Where do you see the pi value and all here? Is only min age changed, yes or no? The dot class.
Yes.
So the dot also one more thing what you could do. When was the time it was last modified? The dot class and dot Java you see ls minus ltrh. Look at the modification time.
8:59.
The dot Java is recently modified at 9 o'clock, correct? But the
Yes.
dot class was modified 1 minute before. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Ideally, what should be the order?
What
Dot Java, then dot
Dot
class.
then class.
Yeah.
That's what we do here. Yes or no? First
Yes.
step is Java C, then only Java source code we have, then Java C, then the dot class gets produced. So in that case, what should be the case ideally?
Java
The
should
dot
come.
class should always be, the
Latest.
modification time of the dot class should always be greatest or equal to the dot Java file. Yes or no?
Yes.
So that is why we need to verify that this is also a possibility. When you are at the beginner stage, you wouldn't have compiled the file after you make changes to the source code. Understood? Now you recompile. What happened? You see this has become latest. Correct? Guys?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Now I make, let's say I just make one change here. Just a space I added. Do you see that? Is this acceptable? Is this acceptable or not?
Yes.
How do you say that?
Because last class
There is
file
a
was
visual
created
clue.
last.
There is a visual, exactly. Even though the timing is same, but the dot class is the latest. That means this was touched little later than the dot Java file. That means the class is recompiled. This is the latest. Yes or no? Now I'm good to compile. Now you see radius is
Yes,
5 pi r square, right? So when you are going through the program, you will understand that the constant what you see a variable name, that means it is untouched. You are comfortably, you are safe to use that. It's a constant value, pi r squared. That's an example I wanted to prove. Makes sense? Okay, this is pi into powers math, Lakshmi. We are not using that. There is a class called java.lang.math. .py. We are not using it yet, Lakshmi. We will do that later, right?
Okay, sir. Okay.
That's a different story, but it is exactly doing that. But I'm reproducing the same thing with a small example here. More or less, we are doing the same concept. We are doing like this. Okay. Right. I'll go to the next concept. Variable versus concept. Comments. What is a comment in a source code? Comments. Do you see a
Nothing
statement
but
here?
documentation that we
Something-
can read.
Anything starts with a double slash. Do you see that this is being actually considered?
No, compiler will
No.
not consider.
The
No,
compiler.
it
Then
will
what?
be
Who
evaluated
it
by the
is for?
compiler.
Who is it for? This program is
It
for
is
two
for
different
pro-
people.
For readers,
One
Oh,
for
understand.
programmer.
User.
Future
Very good.
reference.
Very good. Not just for future reference. That is also right. But this is for the
Readable.
programmer to understand. reader or programmer or human being. Rest of all the statements are for whom?
Compiler. Yeah.
Compiler.
Compiler.
Very good. So
It's
this
for compiler
statement
and
will
JVM.
never be correct. This statement will never be considered for the compiler. Never be considered by the compiler or interpreter, JVM. You are right. Right? This is just for our understanding. Yes or no?
Yes.
So what do we have? Comments. You see that? Please pay attention. This is the name of the class, right? Any characters present after a double forward slash are treated as comments and hence ignored by the compiler and also the interpreter. We just discussed. Yes or no? Yes or no? Now, this is int age equal to 9. This is a numeric
Yes,
value.
sir.
I put a comment. Then one more thing. Comments can start anywhere in the line. It need not be always in the beginning like this. So what do you think will happen in this line? Do I have volunteer?
Like here, int age equal to 9 will be taken by compiler and remaining will be skipped
Which everything
after the
will be
double
skipped.
slash.
Correct? Probably Uday. Thank you for volunteering. I would request others as well to speak. I appreciate your helping. Sometime I want other people to speak. There are people who are not speaking at all. I don't know. Otherwise, I'll ignore you guys. Obviously, I need to rush up a bit as well. I would definitely request and appreciate. Please take turns and try to be interactive. It's for your own learning. Correct? Thank you, Uday.
Yes.
You are right. So this is actively taken by the compiler. And this is what will happen. We have just had it here. What is that there? Any characters present after a double slash forward slash are treated as
Will-
comments and ignored. So only this is considered. And what I'm trying to say, comments can be anywhere in the part of a line. But before whatever the characters before the comments can be considered, but after that it is not considered. Yes, this is a single line comment. One line, correct?
Oh.
What if you want to have multiple lines? One way is this is how you should do double slash, correct?
Yes.
Whereas you could also start with
Yes, sir. Yes.
slash star and star slash. This is the beginning, this is the ending. It's more like flower basis, right? In between whatever the characters that you put, the entire text will be treated as a comment, like a paragraph. So can somebody read it out for me?
This is a multi-line comment with any characters placed between slash, star and star slash, backward slash to indicate that the entire set of the contents characters should be treated as comments. It is easy for a human being to read the contents in a proper way without straining much. Anyways, for the compiler, it doesn't make a big difference as it would simply ignore all the text.
Is it right, Lakshmi? Thank you. So you understand that, right? It's just for the human being. What if I don't have this multi-line comment? And it goes a lengthy comment if I want to type. There are two ways. One, I would cut them into multiple lines and each line I need to type this separately, right? If not, what will happen? Assuming I have this. All right. Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay, here, because I have this, can somebody tell me what is the fashion of your reading? From here to here, you bring it, here to here. Two things you should observe, right? One is, do you see the line 20 and then 21 starts here? Yes or no?
Yes, Rakan.
This is completely taken as one line, correct? But what will happen if you start reading? Watch out your neck and eyes. You start reading from here. If you start from here to here, then immediately what happens? You bring back your eyes to here. Yes or no? The portion of the screen where you are paying attention is very limited. But here what happens? You will keep rotating your neck, then come back. It's more like a typewriter. Yes or no?
Readability
This will be straining. That's why I said without straining much. Understood? That's the benefit of multi-line comments. You break it into a legible character limit and you put everything into one single set of characters. Star, slash, star, and star, slash. This is a forward slash. That's both of them are forward slashes. Make sense, guys? I hope there are no questions on this. I'm going further with the next topic, right?
Yes, Rakan.
Right.
Yes.
Next is executable statements. What is an executable statement? We have already seen that.
Compile.
Yeah, what is an executable statement?
Which will be compiled by the compiler.
Where the compiler can convert us to bytecode.
Excellent.
It's a line of code which can
Very
perform
good,
action.
Okay. Can somebody give me a smart answer? Little different out of the box answer.
Which can be convert
It can be.
No, Uday, you said it right. Fine. That's the right answer, perfect answer. But there is also another answer which I am probably waiting for somebody else to add.
Executable statement, we can consider it as a line of the code in the program which can perform a specific action or operation.
That is also right, Chakravarti. Thank you. That's also right.
If you open .class file, whatever the lines we are seeing, that is the executable statement.
Very good. Dhananjay, that's a nice answer. Thank you. So let's do that. Very good, Dhananjay. That's a good answer.
A part of comments and everything is like executable statements.
Apart from, Lakshmi, is that what you meant to say?
Yes.
Smart answer. That is what I was looking for. And the whatever answer Dhananjay said and you said are two sides of a coin. That's what I was looking for. Within a source code, any statement that's not a comment is an executable statement. Can we say that? So far, we have seen two different statements, two different lines in program, right? What are those? So far in a program, we have two different segments, right? What is that?
Executable statements, non-executable things.
So if you exclude that, it's a mathematical complement set, right?
Yes.
You complement it. So anything which is not a comment can be considered as an executable statement. Yes or no? Java P-C comments demo dot class. Here you go. What exactly Dhananjay said. And of course, whatever Uday and Chakravarti said as well, right? Anything that can be considered for converted into byte code, which is also what he said, right? Uday said. Yeah. Chakravarti said it is supposed to perform an action. Obviously, there is a meaning behind it. Do you see any of my comments here, guys? Rest of others who are on mute. Do you see any of my comments present in the .class file, which is compiled?
No, sir.
No.
This is a perfect example that the comments are ignored. Agreed? They are not carried further from the .java here to .class. The comments are stripped off. Yes or no? We have a proof in front of us, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So that is what we intend to say. Comments. It's also important. I'm just covering that. Next, keywords. What is a keyword? A word that has got a key attached.
No.
Like
The words which can understand by the compiler.
Meaning in the code.
Certain meaning.
Very good. Bhaskar Raju. Thank you for that. And who said that? Other thing is Lakshmi, is it? The words that can be understood by the compiler.
By the compiler.
Do you think, say, let's say, for example, I go with this my variable. That's a yes and no answer, Lakshmi. Thank you for adding that. Do you think, what do you call this as, Lakshmi? AGE? Is it a statement or a letter or a word?
Word.
So what is
Just
it doing
normal.
when I used to age in this year? It's a word I'm referring here. Yes or no?
Yes.
Do you think the compiler does not understand?
Before that, you have declared that it is an int, right? So based on the.
Correct. But this is also a word. That's also a word.
Yes.
Don't mistake me. I'm not challenging you. I'm helping you understand
Yes.
your thought process, right? My intention is not to break your confidence, right? So the word age is still understood by the compiler here, correct? So the answer that you said needs some refinement. So somebody said, what are the other better answers? Aparao, others, Yatish, somebody else could speak.
Keywords are
it
the
is-
standard words which cannot be used as variables or constants.
Special word reserved by Java.
Very good, Lasia. Who's the other person who said special word?
Yatish.
Yatish, thank you. Yes, exactly. Do you remember a board called reserved? A small board reserved. Where have you seen that, guys?
Tables or
Any
fields.
conference or any
In
meetup.
hotels, conference. What is the meaning of that word
It
reserved?
is already preoccupied.
Very good. Who said that? Yes.
That's Chakravarti.
Very good word, Chakravarti. Thank you. That's a good keyword. It's preoccupied. Fantastic. It's fixed. It's preoccupied. It has got a special meaning, Lakshmi, for your wording. Compiler will understand, but it's a special meaning. It's more like, it knows them first. It's a friend. Assuming that anybody knows anyone else here in this group, or all of you are strangers meeting here for the first time. In this class, whoever is audience present. Anybody knows anybody else?
No, Raghav.
No,
Yeah,
Not at all.
new
Okay.
students.
But today we have two people from my earlier batch. Do we still have them? Vijay, Vinita, can you guys speak up? Vijay? So
Yes, sir.
obviously you would have looked at the names, correct? Vijay, Vinita?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Upon looking at the names, what was your first thought? By all the other names and looking at Vijay names. Likewise for Vijay, when you look at Vinita's name and rest of the other names, only two different names, right? Two different group of names. What did you think by looking at the name Vinita Vijay?
You are asking us, sir, or them?
Those
Vijay,
are
I
like
am asking Vinita and
reserved
Vijay.
names.
Vijay, by looking at Vinita's name in the list participants, what did you think? What you felt? And looking at other names, Apara, Bhaskar Rajiv, Yatish, etc., other names, what thought process came to your mind? Guys, it's a very
Everyone
simple
is
question. Yeah, everyone is?
new, or else I am new to this group.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Very good. No, everyone is new is fine. By looking at Vijay's name, Vinita, what do you thought?
I already know
Male,
him.
female.
Yeah.
He's my friend. Rather, he's a known person to me. Yes or no?
Yeah.
That's why I asked this question.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? Now you look at it, when you look at the program, do you see that these words are highlighted in different color?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? So these are
Yes,
all the
sir.
special words having a preoccupied meaning that the compiler understands it very easily. Is it
Okay.
clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That has got a standard words as what Lazia said as well. It has got a special meaning. It's reserved for some purpose. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. So the keyword is a reserved word that has got a special meaning, and what we should not use it for. If there is a table, there are 5 tables in a restaurant. One corner seat is having a board called reserved. What does that mean? And you are 5 friends going in there. What it is meaning to you? What it means to you?
It's already occupied.
Okay, that's fine. Let's break it down. What does it mean? Okay, it's occupied. So you
We
5
don't have-
people are
So we
Apart
can't
from the
go
one
there.
who
We
has
can't
booked
use it.
it, no other person should take it.
very good, Lasia. That's correct. Somebody else was saying in parallel. Who was
We can't use it like it's for
Excellent.
specific person.
Both the answers, Bhaskar and Lasya, what you gave is right. It is used for somebody, not for us. So if your 5 of us are going in, we should not be sitting in there. That's the meaning of blocking the seat called reserve, table called reserve. Yes. And also it is for the people who reserved it. That's also right. It's the other side of the coin. Correct? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now, assuming that, so you see that here, right? Keywords are the reserved words and hence should not be used for identifier. What is an identifier? Something to identify, correct? For a human, what is our identifier for the human beings? First
Names.
identifier.
Name. Yeah.
ID, employee ID, it's all different. We have names. Likewise, for a computer program, in the programs, what do we use it as? For who we to use it for? We use it for
Variables.
variables and constants, correct? So now let's assume I go here, assuming that you want to capture the standard in which a student is studying. Can I do that? Now you look at it. What is that is saying, sir? Can somebody help me? Do I volunteer? What is these 2 lines? Just tell me what do we do? You have a comment as well on top.
We are declaring a class with the string type variable.
We are not declaring a class with string type. That's not right. We are
Class is
declaring
also
a
variable of string
class
type.
is also is a special keyword in Java which we should not be
Correct.
used for other names, other
No,
identifiers.
Lakshmi, hold on. Ghost.
No,
I'm asking you a question. What are
that
we
is
doing?
identifiers actually. We can say class is a keyword and
No,
identifier.
guys.
with the name here we are using class as variable, but it's actually
Very good.
keyword.
That's a best bet. That's what I'm looking for. We are declaring a variable whose name is class. That's all. Yes or no?
Yes.
Which is of type string. Let's look at what is string later. Is it fine?
Yes.
That's all.
Yes,
You hold
sir.
on to all your answers little bit. We are declaring a variable. That's a variable name, right? We are declaring a variable, correct?
Yes.
Whose name is called class. That's it. Yes.
Yes.
And what is the purpose we are saying? Assuming that this is for a student, which class he is studying for? Yes or no?
Yes.
Which is standard, which class? So what is the next one?
We are declaring a variable for
Whose
of
name
type
is
integer.
for, which is of
For,
type
yeah.
integer. What do we say? Also, you want to inform or capture which age group this program is for, correct? For we give it. Now let's try to compile it. What do we say? Now, Lakshmi, Chan, who is that? Sorry. Lakshmi, others, whoever were filling in, right? Chakravarti, you can fill in your answers. Uday, whatever you are saying. I'll try to compile it. Now what happens? Do you see here? Oh my goodness. What do you see that important errors? Do you see multiple errors being thrown?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Identifier expected.
It is much more confusing. Why? Because class is generally an identifier used for a top of the structure. If you remember, like a statement in English, we have a skeleton, public class, a skeleton unit, correct? So when the compiler looks at the word class, it expects something else comes later, name of the class. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
But it is seeing that there is a semicolon after the word class. So it says it's not a statement. Correct? And expected, right? String class, it is not expected. Something else is expected here, not the class. And identifier expected. What is the identifier expected here? After the class, you're supposed to fill in what?
Name.
After the keyword class, you are supposed to give the name of the class. Correct? So 3 errors. Likewise, for is also a keyword used for a looping. You understand it, right? So you cannot use it as a name of a variable. So if you still do that, there is a reserved keyword, reserved board you see on the table. You still go and sit. What will happen?
They will come and tell us to go.
They'll tell you, ask you to go, or if you still be seated, what they will do? They will push you. They will push you. Right? Is it clear?
Yes.
It's very simple. So this is also giving you a hint. I'm giving you the hint as well here. Where are we doing? Let's go here. I'll comment this out, obviously, right? I don't need to have this. Yes or no?
Yes.
Did anybody
Yes.
observe one more thing? Can somebody tell me something's different happening here in this line of program, especially in these 4 lines? I'll wait for the person who has got the good observing
For single line
capacity.
comments also, you are using multi-line comments.
Very good, Lakshmi. Fantastic. Keep it up. So,
Thank you.
so the multi-line comment, though I told you it is for many lines, doesn't necessarily mean that it should be for multiple lines. You can very well use it for a single line as well. It can have more than one line. That's a maximum. You can have it for one line as well. Understood, guys? Purposefully, I gave that comment. All of you are clear?
Yes.
Yes, Raghav, yes.
Right?
Yes, sir.
So now we compile this again. Keywords demo.java. It compiled successfully. Then where do you have the keywords reserved? Okay, now the next question is, how do I know what are all the keywords in Java? That's the next question, right? How do I know which are all tables reserved? So here is where you see the list of keywords are present. This is where we have, you see the screen, right? Don't worry about it. There are about 50 keywords in Java, right? Abstract, assert, boolean, break, byte, case, catch, char, class, constant, continue, default, do, double, else, enum, extends, final, finally, float, for, go to, if, implements, import, instance of, int, interface, long, native, new, package, private, protected, public, return, short, static, strict FP, super, switch, synchronized, this, throw, throws, transient, try, void, volatile, and while. Clear, guys? These are all the reserved words. Can somebody give me one another context where this can be seated in with respect to yesterday's class? We have 50 words here, right? I have explained yesterday in a different context where what is the annotation or what is the analogy that you can use it? These words can sit in where? Java compiler, right? How compiler is differentiating that it is a keyword or not?
There in JRE library.
Very good. That's a different word. Can somebody put in? That's right, Dhananjay. Not JRE, it's a JDK. Before JRE, what comes? You will directly eat the food, is it, Dhananjay? With raw rice and masala.
Mhm.
Do you wait for it to be cooked or not?
Yes.
Right? So what do you use it for cooking? Developing. What do you use?
JDK.
Right. No worries. That's still a good attempt, right? Can somebody tell me that? We have looked at a different word concept yesterday. I've explained to you as well. For GX,
Environment.
no. GX, KX, GKX, when we looked at it yesterday. Likewise here as well. When we looked at for,
So
it
like the
immediately threw
Pascal casing, like Pascal.
not Pascal and all. It's like a dictionary, guys. The compiler maintains a dictionary on its own. Correct? The JDK has got a dictionary. Do you remember?
Yes,
Recall
Raghav.
yesterday we looked up a dictionary.
Yes,
The word
Raghav.
resurrection.
Yes, yes.
Exactly. Compiler has a
Right.
dictionary. Only which it, upon opening a program, it understands, oh, these are all my friends. I know them. They are present in my dictionary. So I understand what do they mean. But the class is not supposed to come with a semicolon. That is not what class is supposed to be presented as. So I don't agree with that program. I will throw an error back to the user when he is compiling. Clear? Yes or no? So that is what
Yes.
is all about the keywords. Next, any questions so far on this? What you have covered?
No, Raghav, I'm good here.
Others?
Yeah, no, it's clear.
Sure. So I take the same for others as well, rather than waiting and getting every individual person. I always say that you need to be interactive. So if not, then obviously I would assume that you are with me and you understand everything, right? Okay. Next, the data types. What is a data type? We have already seen a couple of them. What is a data type?
Tells about the type of variable that is used.
No type of variable. You are right in the way you started,
The-
Lasya. Thank you.
It tells
The data which we
what
want
kind
to
of data it can be stored.
It's data type of data. What do you want to represent? Correct? Lasya,
Yes, sir.
assuming that you go for shopping. Okay.
Yes.
What do you carry?
Bag
Then
and
First thing,
required
wallet.
ones for
wallet and bag. Why? The purpose of what?
like if I buy anything, I can carry it in the bag and I can pay for that thing.
What kind of bag you will carry? It's too generic. I'm just simply asking a question, right? What kind of bag you will carry?
Like any polythene bag.
Always you carry a polythene.
Based on the quantity we are gonna buy.
That's an answer. It depends on what you intend to buy. Correct?
Yeah.
What if you intend to buy groceries? What if you intend to buy clothes? What if you intend to buy crackers? What if you intend to buy flowers? Do you think you'll always have one size bag that fits everything?
No, it varies.
That's the exact purpose you should bring it here. What kind of data you represent? Correct?
Okay.
And also the wallet, the currency. Somebody said, I think it's Vinita. I have already told that example in my previous classes, right? All of us use wallet, right? What type of currency that you bring in while you go for shopping?
Which is accepted at the shop.
Is it always okay? That is one good thing. Is it only that?
Like it can be either online payment or the cash.
Okay. It's only offline payment, not only in the shop you pay.
Notes
You'll
and points, which is of different types also can be fit into the wallet.
Very good, Dashika. Excellent. Within the wallet, what it can fit, notes and coins. Is that all? Dashika, you're missing one more piece.
Cards.
Cards, credit card, or debit
cards.
card.
Very good. Excellent. Card is one instrument, one mode of payment, where you have bifurcation, debit card and credit card. So depending on what you intend to buy, where you intend to buy, you would change the currency, what you bring with you, what you take it with you. Yes or no? That's the exact meaning of data type here. Assuming that you want to represent a student, what type of data you would be interested in collecting? Right? Probably collective answers, please. A student, I say.
His name,
Student
mobile
name.
number, age,
Age.
the course he's studying, the marks.
Very good. Right?
The average marks, the total
Okay.
marks, and his percentage.
Is that all? You're missing one more thing. Yeah, that's all good answers, right? Marks, his name and age, and the mobile number is all fine. Most important
What
thing
class
is,
he belongs to.
right? What else? Is that all? Only just a class?
What section?
Okay, you are on the right track.
ID.
Okay, what else? A student, guys. A student belongs to what?
School or college.
School or college, an institution, correct? All right, let's stop it there. So now all these data can fit into one container. You will represent everything into one container, or you will have multiple.
Differentiate.
Yeah, multiple.
Multiple, yeah.
What are those? What are those?
Like for numbers, we use the other one.
Integers
and
and
name,
strings.
string.
For the
character.
name,
Marks float.
Okay, that's a little bifurcation, but in general, when you talk about, you have numeric and you have characters, correct?
character.
Like mobile number, marks and all number. Why do you want to have it in numbers? Why can't everything in string? Can somebody tell me? Can I not?
Strings cannot
Very
be
good.
changed.
No, that's a bit more advanced. Who said string cannot be changed now? Who is that?
Last year.
That's
Mutable.
good. You are right, but you need to be holding on to that a bit.
Yeah.
We are still from LKG, UKG, and first standard. We are now. You're talking about first standard.
Come down
But
the basic.
Somebody said yes. I'm sure people have. Who is having the highest experience here? More than 5 years? Anybody has got?
Yes, I have.
Dhananjay. Okay. You would have done good amount of Java programming so far, Dhananjay.
Yeah.
But are you having anything good to learn or refresh the concept from the basics in today's class?
Yes, yes, that's what I'm enjoying to.
My pleasure. That's ultimate purpose of it, right? Very basics, but refreshing we are.
Yes,
right?
yes. Actually, my
So-
child is coming and making noise. That's what I'm not able
No
to
worries. Thank you.
unmute it. Yeah, thanks.
Say hi to him or her, right? That's good.
Yes.
So somebody said an answer, right? Probably still I'm not able to correlate the voices of the people. Why you want to capture the marks in numbers, not in strings?
For doing calculations.
Who's that? Who said that?
Yetish. Yeah.
Yetish, very good answer. You want to do calculations. What is the calculation? Already somebody said that.
Yeah, numeric
Marks.
operations.
You need to perform a numeric operations. Only if it is a numeric number, you will be performing as what?
Numeric
Say,
Operation.
for a student, what do? You will sum all the numbers, find a total, and divide by the total number and find an average. Correct?
All the arithmetic operations.
Exactly. Assuming that you have got, let's say, for example, you have got 100 rupee note and 25 rupee coins, right? But the person accepts everything as a note only. What will you do? Currency only, not coins. Will you give it to a person? There are two different types, right? Note and currency. Yes or no? Coins and note. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
There
Yes,
are
Raghav,
two different types of currency. But the person is not accepting coins at all. He will accept only notes. What will you do when you go for shopping?
we make sure that we carry notes instead of
No, you
coins.
don't. You don't make sure. Don't give a smart answer. Always. No.
Need to visit a place where we can exchange.
Excellent. Apara, very good. You need to basically convert, exchange or convert. By giving coins, you get the currency back. 25 rupee to 20 rupees and 5 rupees, or 210 and 1 5 rupee note, and give it to them. That's the only thing you should do, because you want to purchase. You want to buy things, correct? Likewise, the data types are supposed to be for a particular operation. If a student details you want to calculate, for a student, basically somebody was filling it. Lakshmi was saying, if I'm not wrong, right? What do you tend to perform? My teeth started paining. No, that's the whole day I preserve my energy by not speaking. Now it started paining. Okay, let me finish that. So what is that we would perform of a student when you try to, after collecting all the details, what will you perform, guys?
We can
We'll
calculate
perform arithmetic
percentage.
operations.
What operations? What operations?
If we want to add, we will do addition and averaging division.
Multiplication.
Basically, you perform two things: sum of all the marks and average of all the marks. Correct? And possibly you have more than one student, you will find the ranking. For all this, you need a numerical operation. So if you think the data is in string, is it easy for you? Or if it is
No.
numerical, it will be easy for you.
Numerical would be easier for
As
everyone.
good as if you have everything is coins or everything as notes. Correct? You understand that, right?
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
if you come back the same as example to here, in Java, there are built-in or primitive types. By default, you have it. With respect to numeric, we have this, right? Byte, int, float, byte, int, long, float, double. The order is changed. Byte, int, long are for whole digit numbers. You know that.
Short.
And float and
Short
double are, yeah, short. Thanks, my bad. Yeah, short, I missed it. Correct, Uday, right? Byte, short, int, long. Probably I was just typing in a hurry. That's correct. Byte, short, all of these are keywords. We have seen it here, guys. You see that. Byte, short, int, where is that? Int, long,
They're already down.
right? Then float and double. Do you see that? And they are basically keywords. You know the meaning behind the keyword now, right? Why? Yes or no? That has got a reserved meaning, right? Byte means what? And you understand now? I'm sure all of you would have visited a coffee shop, not necessarily Starbucks. Even multiplex, you all would have gone to multiplex.
Yes, Raghav.
Where you get popcorns and Pepsi.
Yes, Raghav.
How do they sell? Especially Pepsi. Or popcorns.
Medium, large.
A container size, yes or no? Based on which price will vary. Yes. Medium will be 500. I think the price starts 400. Large will be 700, something like that. Yes or no? The price is proportionate to the size of the container. Guys. Likewise, the byte, short, int, long are having an increased capacity. to store the whole digit numbers. And float and double are for precision type, like 3.14 decimal numbers. 5.5, 3.14 for pi. Do you remember what is the data type I used for pi?
Float.
Float.
Yes, I used float. Correct. Why? Because it takes what? 3.14 decimal digit number. Correct. Yes or no?
Yes.
Then boolean
Yes,
is a
sir.
special data type that indicates only two values, true or false. Either yes or no, true or false, present or absent. Right? Char is to indicate a single character. A, B, C, D, alphabets, A to Z if you want to capture that. Right? String is a special built-in data type, but not a primitive. String is a special built-in data type. We have seen it string as well. Where have we seen it?
String class.
Where
We
have you
commented.
seen that? Comments demo. Huh?
Yeah, honest.
The
Yeah.
above code. You can see. It's above one.
Different
Not the
one.
last one. Above.
Keywords.
Yeah. No, where did we use a string here? String. Yeah, here. String is a special data type, right? That is, we'll look at that later. It's again a data, it's a class. It's an object of a string class we created. And user defined or custom classes, like how we define. See, assuming that in terms, let's take the same example of a currency. How do you, two ways you can carry all the, how many different currencies we have discussed so far?
Coins.
Coins, cash, card.
Cards.
Right?
Digital
How many
payment.
different? Digital is wallet. That's fine. Use a phone as well as a, that's a good. Phone also is an instrument using which you use it wallet, phone pay, Google Pay, etc. Correct? Digital payment. Right? Now, how many different ways you can carry all these instruments? Keep aside the phone. How many different? Take the phone as well. Coins, notes, and cards. How many ways you can carry all these together with you?
You can carry in pocket or hand.
Everything you carry separately or
in a wallet or
in a wallet or purse, whatever we call it as. We put everything into one different segment and we carry that wallet. Yes or no?
Right.
Yes,
That
sir.
wallet has got multiple different type of currencies. Is the exact thing called user defined data type or custom data type, right? Where like employee, student class, that will contain more than one data. If you want to represent data, all of them will be separate. But you want to put all of them into one single unit, a container, that is called a custom data type, user defined data type. Clear? So these are all two different data types we have in Java. All right. Any questions so far? Any questions so far?
No.
No, Raghavan, we are.
Raghavan, yeah, basically we have multiple data types to save the memory storage. That's what I was
Yes,
just about to add.
that's correct. Yes, all of them have a direct. Obviously, you have a wallet. There are 100 nodes, and if you are given another 100 nodes, do you think it can fit into your wallet?
No.
Do you have two more nodes?
Yeah.
You will adjust, you will squeeze in, correct? Likewise, it is. All of them will occupy a space in memory. Like how coins, cards. Let's assume there is a wallet. It has got only 4 slots to keep a card. How many cards you will keep? Ideally, only 4 slots in a wallet.
We can keep 4.
Ideally, you can keep 4 cards, correct? Yes. More than that, you will have a difficulty to stuff in, correct?
Yes.
Then the wallet will be bulging. Yes, without any difficulty, you will not accommodate that. Yes or no?
Yes.
In a car, there is 2 plus 3 seater, right? But generally, we don't follow the rules, right? 2 plus 3, how you all understand what I'm saying, right? What do we do in the back seat?
Just with the
4 member.
जब बच्चे लोग आते हैं तो धमकाते हैं एकदम, है ना? वो पीछे बैठ जाओ, गोद में बैठ जाओ, हम बोलते हैं ना? We stuff the children on the lap of the people. We accommodate 6-7 people, but all of us will have a comfortable journey, right? You understand, right? So every person seated in a car will occupy a space. Every currency seated in placed in a wallet will occupy a space. Every data type present in a program will occupy a memory. You are right.
So generally in our programming, we mainly use int, float, or long. Sometimes
You should use bytes as well. You should use byte as well. I'll tell you
byte and
that.
sort. I don't know, like where we have to use it. Generally,
That's a good question. Who is asking that?
yeah, it's me, Dhananjay.
Dhananjay, right? It's a good question. Very good question. It depends on the maximum value that it can accommodate, Dhananjay. If you think a person's value, let's assume, Dhananjay, you capture an age of a person. Let's also look at the data type limit. I know most of you understand byte will take 0 to 127. 120 up to max 127 you can store in a byte. Yes. Minus 127.
Minus 128 to plus 127.
Plus 127. That's actual row. I'm talking about plus. We don't have a minus here. Correct? That's the right answer. Assuming that you are capturing an age of a person, Dhananjay.
Yes.
What do you think a data type you could use?
Byte will be enough, right?
For this, byte will be enough.
You are a very correct statement you are making, Dhananjay. People will conveniently use a byte. Will conveniently use a int. Always start with int.
Yes.
Int age. In fact, I have done that for demonstration.
Yes.
Correct?
Yeah.
It's as good as Dhananjay. You are the only person going to office. You must have seen all in metro cities, right? People comfortably going in Innova car, but he'll be only person sitting in the car.
Yes.
What does he do? What does he do actually? What he causes?
Wastage of resource actually.
Exactly. That goes without saying. That goes without saying. You are the only person, right? You think you can eat more. You order 10 burgers at a time. Correct? That's the same purpose. Now you tell me, Dhananjay, you want to capture an age of a person. In fact, I have done that as well. I don't deny. But in a live program, we change it. If it is can accommodate, why for an age you think byte will be sufficient?
Because byte has this 8-bit of integer, right? That storage only.
So
1 byte. So it's enough. Age
what
cannot
it is enough?
age cannot go beyond a certain limit.
That's the exact reason. In theory, an age of a person cannot go beyond 127. Even though there are people whom we see in the news, that the older generation, they live up to 105 years, 110 years, etc. Very rarely people lives up beyond 127 years of age. Yes or no?
Yeah.
So the smallest unit of memory is sufficient. You don't feel very thirsty, right? You will only order one plate of idli, two idlis, or short cup of tumbler is sufficient for you to drink a coffee. Yes or no, Dhananjay?
Yes.
You don't need a latte. Yes or no? You don't have time. You understand that, right? That is how you decide.
Yeah, but generally while developing, we don't.
People
don't
see
do that.
that's
Majority
your,
will not think. Yeah.
Your team lead, code review, they should do. It's a design review, code review, they should perform. Okay?
Yes.
But that's a good question. All right. Any other questions apart from this, guys? Anybody else has got anything else? Any other questions?
No question from my end.
Thank you. You guys are okay to stay for some more? I still need to manage myself, but can we cover this?
Yes,
Probably
Raghunath, absolutely.
Yeah, maybe AP will
If you
take
are
it.
okay, we are happy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, I'll manage until what best I can, right? Thank you, guys. So far we are clear, right? Now, let's look at probably null versus empty. This is another important concept in object-oriented programming. So let's assume, I think my battery also should support till when it is, right? Let's take all right. You know what I'm gonna do, right? Can somebody help me what I'm actually trying to do here?
Trying to print the values of strings.
What is that string?
To know the
S1
difference of each of them, how they print.
Right. What each string takes?
S1 will print out Java, which
Java.
it's in the quotes, and S2 will not print anything, and S3 will also
S2 will
not print
print
anything.
S2 will print null and S3 will be just a space.
Right, exactly. I am actually writing a program that will take 3 strings by giving some values and I'm printing them, right? Now I do this. Obviously, as you said, first thing is a string, simple string. String is a data type. Just understand that, right? It's a data type. We will cover that. It's a special class in Java, but we use it as a data type, as a built-in data type, right? Next, S2 is null is a special word. You are seeing it for the first time, right? What is the third thing? Just a double quotes, correct? Nothing else. And when I print it, I'm just printing the values one after other. Yes or no?
Yes.
What the values you see? S1 is Java. S2 you see null literal. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
And this here you do you see anything?
No.
No.
It's empty.
Not at all. All right. Let me do this one more change now. Just pay attention. Obviously, what should I do? What should I do now? Why?
Because we
Why?
updated.
Very good. We made some changes to the
Source
source.
code we update.
Now, can somebody make a guess what it will print?
Java,
Will be
null,
Print Java, null, again.
A space.
empty and space.
But what is the difference between this and this? Okay, this is the actual value we give it, correct? Null.
Yeah, that's a
Please pay
literal we
attention,
can
all
say.
of you. Correct. This null means no value is assigned, just a blank room. Correct? There is a table reserved, but nobody has seated it yet. It's null. Right?
Yes,
Nobody has
space is
come.
there, we can fill it.
Yeah, yes. Just the space is there, no table is allotted there. This is a literal, it's as good as Java. It's a value. Please don't get confused. But this and this are different. This is yet another value like Java, but this without any codes. If you see, the color is also changed, a special color like a keyword, as you see for integer. Here you see, correct? Likewise, it also changed, but not exactly the data type color. It is a reserved keyword. It's also a special word. It's not a keyword. It's a special word in Java that it indicates that this object does not point to anything in memory. It's just a placeholder.
Yeah. There
Yes
is
or
no
no?
object. Yes.
Correct. It's more like you have an empty land, no house is constructed. Just a land is patta registered, but no house is there. All right.
Yes.
Yes. Now, what are these? This is an empty string, as good as 1 and 3 is an empty string. Yes. But this has got a space. This is an empty string, this is a space. Now let me make a small change to the program. I think you will understand it better. A very small change I'll make. What I'm gonna do for this. Sorry, it's 3. I want to do that for my bad. I put it here. That's okay. All right. Do you see that? Can you observe the actual value being printed is a space? Yes or no?
Yes.
Earlier, were you able to understand it?
No.
But if you select the cursor, it selects 2 characters. Right? It doesn't go beyond it. This line, do you see that? But is it visible to the naked eyes?
Yes.
No.
You need to do all these gimmicks. But here it is very clear, correct? This is an empty string. There is a table is reserved, but nobody is seated. It's something like that. Here there is no table at all. Just a blank space. There is no table at all. You understand that?
Yes.
Null is not allotted anything, just a land. That's it. No person is allotted to anybody. It's just a, what do you call? There's no patta assigned to anybody, correct? That's what it's all about. Okay. That is with null and empty values. Clear? Any questions on this?
No, sir.
No.
Right. Now we also have, for the time being, I'll take this. We also have a default values. What is that? Let's assume I take
Which
this.
is
What are the
assigned to
data?
data type.
Yeah, int age. Let's take for students. What are we doing?
String name.
String name. What else you said?
Mark.
String phone number. String college name.
ID.
String class or not class. Standard. Right? Then
Yes.
float mark 1, mark 2, mark 3. Assume just 3. I'll remove this as well for the sake of simplicity. Name, age, and college and ID. Probably you can have it, right? Just pay attention. System.out.println. Name is name. All right. Likewise, you have mark 2 and 3. Yes or no?
Yes.
All right. Does anybody observe anything special here? Something different?
We haven't assigned any value to
Any values to that
Not
variables.
initialized.
Very good. There is no value assigned to anything. What has happened? They are just declared. It is as good as assuming that you hire a person for a job. Assuming that you hire a person. Maybe we appoint a maid, housemaid, correct? She comes. What do you think we should have an agreement when you appoint a maid? She comes on the day of duty, she reports. What does she look for?
what are the tasks she should perform?
You need to let her know that what she should do. Probably in the order also. Maybe you need to first broom the house, right? Then wash the utensils, whatever you, or wash the clothes later. In the order you will tell her, yes or no? Or morning ka coffee chai bana do, सुबह सुबह, right? जो कुछ हम उसको बोलना चाहते हैं, उससे करवाना चाहते हैं, like we will inform timings as well. We do that. But what if you don't say anything? Just the maid comes. What will happen?
She will wait for the command or something.
She'll just be sitting, right? That's what is happening. You say that there is a string name, age, college name, but do you give a value?
No.
And what will happen? All of us are with me. All of you are with me.
Yes, Dragon.
Yes.
So I did something wrong here. Can somebody tell me? One mistake is there. Before even I issue Java C, I found out. Who is gonna tell me that?
File name and class name both are different.
Excellent. Good catch. Who said that?
Lakshmi.
Very good, Lakshmi. Awesome. You are amazing, which I generally do. Obviously, it said that, right? Error is a public, should be declared in a file name nullempty.java, right? I go to default values.java. I just copied the file, but inside the class, I did not change, correct? See, this is what expecting compiler. After the keyword class, what you should expect? An identifier, not a semicolon, right?
Yeah.
Default values.java. Now what do you see here?
Yeah, like value not assigned. That's the error we are getting. It's not in.
They have not been initialized. It gives an error basically. Boss, what do I do?
Assign
You
the
didn't
value.
give me any task. So what I'm supposed to do?
Assign the value.
Yes or no? But there is a change here. Please pay attention. Now here all of these are local variable methods. Somebody experienced programmers will tell me I was expecting that. I go here, I paste it here, right? Just hang on. This is a local variable. Just hang on to that. They all have a default value when it goes in an instance variable in a class. Right? We will probably talk about it a bit later. Maybe I'll just demonstrate it one. Just for example, assuming that, okay, I do this. Give me a minute. I copy. Just for us, just the sake of explanation. I have a class student. Yes, sir.
Yes.
I paste all of them. Agreed? Yes. All of them are belonging to a student. Now, assuming that I'm printing for a student S1 equal to new student. Now I'm printing system.println student name is equal to S1.name. Just for the sake of simplicity, I print only name and the age. For those who don't understand classes, just hold on. We will talk about it tomorrow. Tomorrow I have it. This to be covered. Just I do a separate class and I'm printing. As of now, do you understand this? Here, all of them are local variable to the method. The compiler complains. I should also comment this out, basically. Just give me a minute. Because it doesn't even let me compile it, right? Yes or no? Yes. Now, do you also see a comment here? Somebody can observe. What am I doing?
Multiple line command. Yeah.
I comment all the unwanted source code by using that multi-line comments, correct? I do not want the compiler to read it and give me an error. I use it to my advantage. Yes or no?
Yes. Yes, Ravani.
If there is no multi-line comment, what I should have done now?
Yes, sir.
Sorry?
You should do
Recommend
backslashes for each
individually.
and every line.
Exactly. You understand the benefit of multi-line comments now?
Yes.
Yes.
Now you see the class is compiled. Yes. What is the value you get? Did it complain now? Did it throw an error?
No, Ravani. Because
Earlier
they
it
are
threw an error because they are the local variable to
local
the method. They
variables.
must be initialized. Otherwise, it will throw an error like this. The variable might not have been initialized. It's more like maid coming, but you have not given any task. She'll be, boss, why you asked me to come here? I'm waiting. I'm wasting my time. Right? Rather, I would go to another house. Later, you say you didn't perform any job. You don't give me salary. My time is wasted. That's how she will complain. Correct? This is something like you tell the maid that no matter what, I'll give you the money. I'll give you the money, but you didn't give any task. Will the maid complain anything? Even though you don't ask the maid to perform any task, but you confirm that you will pay the money. She will complain anything?
No.
Mostly no. Why?
Getting their salary, right?
She is getting the salary. So that's fine, boss. I am giving you 1 hour. I come and sit at your home and I go. It's up to you to get me the job done, get the job done from me or no. Or you don't want, I'm fine with it. Yes or no? This is something like that. In a class, I have it. By default, they get a default value. What is the value you get it by default? You see?
Null value for
Null is for
string.
an object. You understand? There is no person at all. You don't give a value, it's null. You understand that null, what you looked at it? And 0 is an integer value. What could be for float? Any guess?
0.0 f. Yeah.
F is doesn't come. F is only V indicated.
0.0.
Who said that F?
It's me check out. I mean, technically
That's
it
a
was
good
a float
try.
value, right? Yeah.
Somebody can help me understand why we use F. Where do we use F?
We want to declare a
because-
variable with float. So at that initializing, we need to use F.
No,
That's to
JVM
distinguish between double and float.
Double and float.
Yeah.
By default, it is taken as double. In order to differentiate it with the float, we put the F at the end. That's right. Whoever said that, right?
Otherwise, JVM will be take it as a double.
Double. By default, it takes us a double. What happened? Now you see 0.0. F is only at the compiler, sir. For the compiler, you want to distinguish it's not double. By default, it takes us double. You say that no, you don't take double. You don't need Innova. You are only going to office alone. You need Maruti 800. Or TVS Excel to chalega, right? Or Tata Nano leke chalo office ke liye. Apun akele chalte, right? Yes sir, no?
Yes,
So
Raghavan.
this is a default value. By default, even though you don't assign any value, the compiler or the virtual machine runtime environment will assign a value. Right? Now let's do a simple quiz, right? Can somebody tell me? I'll take sum of two numbers. Here. I do it here. You know what I'm gonna do. Right?
But those are
What will happen?
compiled
It will
error.
throw
Error, yeah.
local
It will throw error,
Obviously,
local
obviously
variable.
it will throw another. Yes. Why? Because we see
Not
that now
initial
it doesn't have, right? Let me make it here just for the sake of it, right? 0. Class what do you call numbers?
If we not creating any new class, can I updating their sum of two numbers? No, after that, can I mention that?
Sorry?
Above
Here
main
itself.
method.
You can do
Above
that.
main method.
But I don't want to create an object for sum of two numbers. I could do that as well. Nothing wrong. That's also a good thought. This is what
That
you
will
suggested,
take it,
right?
right? Well,
You
yeah,
can,
yeah, that's
but I didn't want it'll be too long, right? Okay, we can do that. And here you don't want this. What you could do? Object.n1, object.n2. All right. Yes or no?
Yep.
All of you are with me? Rest of others, whoever are not
Yes.
speaking regularly,
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes.
like Bhaskar, Dashika, Vinita, right? Okay, Teja, Lasia. So now I compile this. The class gets compiled. What it will print the output?
0.
0 plus 0.
0 it will print you.
Sure. You understand this now, right? Nothing is there. 0 gets assigned by default. We have just seen it. So that's the default value and we get the output. Clear, guys?
Yes.
And one more doubt. If I'm not creating object, then I able to use it in one and in2.
Sorry?
If I'm not creating object, okay, I'm not creating any object. I'm directly, if I want to directly use that value in n1 and
We
n2,
can print it.
We can make it static.
will it give the default value or error will come?
Error. But then the static is different. Static is a class level. That will go very advanced. I don't want to confuse the rest of the people. Correct? There are options, but that's it.
I not want to create in the method, not in the main method. I'm
Then you have to
declaring in
create a
the
class, separate
class.
class. Yeah. Then you have to have a separate class. Otherwise, you have a
It will
static.
not take.
That's the only other option. Correct.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So default conditional looping, we'll finish all of them in one program, right? I'll take. What is conditional?
Conditional, like we are going with some, getting some.
Agreed or not? I mean,
Giving some
The process
condition to
only if the
follow.
condition is satisfied.
Anything you want to
Satisfied.
compare two values, right?
Yeah,
yes.
compare. Yeah. Compare, and according to that, we have to perform some tasks.
What is the best comparison we all started as a human being?
Boy or girl?
First, where we started. Okay, very good. Very good. Then
that person is getting more salary or like that.
Who is saying that? Dhananjay, yeah?
Uday.
Uday.
Marks.
बचपन से आपको सैलरी मिला था क्या?
Marks.
Strength.
Guys, don't go to
Study
PhD level.
or working. So
In your house, how many of you have siblings? How many of you have siblings?
Yeah, elder
Yeah, I have
and
siblings.
younger.
In the home siblings, what comparison you generally do that?
Every
She is
task
doing
is
the work and
performed
we are
by
not doing.
From
Good.
starting, it will
Like
be
he is
from when we
getting
born now,
more.
from that it will be what
Chocolates.
studying, then job, then salary.
Guys,
Like that, it will
wait.
change. But
Don't
comparison will be happen.
Uday, ज़्यादा मत बात करना भी. Don't go to lectures now. Sorry.
No.
Chocolates.
Starting onwards, it will
Don't get me
start
wrong. This is a simple task. From your childhood, we all should have got used to compare what I get, what my brother or sister gets. Yes or no?
Yeah.
yes.
उसको
Yes,
क्यों
yes,
ज़्यादा
sir.
देते हो? हम रोने चालू किए, है ना? We started crying. That's the best comparison we started, right? Brother one,
Yes, sir.
brother sister, brother one, brother two, brother sister, sister brother, etc. Now, if you want to compare who got more chocolates, I want to print. How do I do? So there is a statement called if. If to compare two values, right? How does it take? If then the brackets, you have one
Number
value
of
to other
chocolates,
value,
one.
right? Number of chocolates one greater than
Number of chocolates, two.
number of chocolates two.
One.
Sorry, I'll put it that way. I'll put it simple. If it is greater, what do I print? This is what it takes simply, right?
You can return.
What do you want me to print? System out println. Who
Of.
got first?
Number one
One.
got more chocolates here.
That's it. Now what can I do? I want to do the reverse also. I want to see who got more. That's all my program is all about.
Or.
Right? What do I print now?
Else, you can see.
Wait, that is different. Guys, you need to be in the order, right? The moment you are born, you are talking about Shadia. You want to get married right out of hospital. Huh? You know, you have not even grown up. You have not studied things, learned anything. You're not seen as for girl or boy of your choice, right?
It's one.
Yeah. Yes or no?
Yes. Else
Obviously, you understand that, right? What it will do? Number two gets more chocolate. You want to compare. Is it clear? Yes or no?
Yes.
No, because
Yes,
I
sir.
don't want to do two different else. Java offers you. We are only comparing two people, correct? If one has got more than others, then he is a winner. If not, who else could be obviously?
The other one.
The other one.
Many.
So we have in English, what is the word we say? He.
Else.
In
Or
simple
she.
English. Or.
Or.
So how do we say? He or she.
her. Yeah, see.
Likewise, in Java, it is else. If and else. Then you have the same block. In that case, what happens? You understand, right? What I'm doing?
Yes.
Please pay attention. I keep compiling the classes, right? Now you get number two. Yes or no?
Correct.
The same program, but I do it with just else. I don't want to recompare it against. Yes or no? There are only two people. Comparison, only one person will be the winner. If he is the winner, I declare him as a winner A. If not, obviously, if A is last, obviously, who else should be the winner? B. That's what we do it. Now I change this. Obviously, you know the answer, right? Just बच्चों का खेल है ये. Right? What it is? Who got more chocolates now?
Number
I
one.
change the
will-
value. So number one will get it. Clear? Simple conditional logic. Yes or no? If and else. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Rahul, yes.
Now I have 3 childs in a family. The problem starts now. What will you do?
Else.
How will
Compare
you do?
Else if else.
each
Very
one
good.
with each.
He or she, something like that, right? So what we do this. After the else, we add one more if, right? What do you need to compare? First 1 and 2 you compare. 1 is the winner, then he is the winner. If not, who else we need to compare?
2 and 3.
2 and 3. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
If 2 is also not a winner, who else would be?
3.
3.
3.
Your job becomes easy. Yes or no?
I think first you have to compare both, right? Number 1, 2, and 3.
Simple logic I'm
Oh,
saying.
okay.
That's correct.
Okay.
1,
I'm
3.
going the same order, you are right. Now in this class, obviously, who is going to be the winner? Now I make it a bit different, right? Let's assume this. Now you see who get? Obviously 2 is the winner, right?
Yes.
Then I make it here. This
Sir,
guy is
you are comparing first number with the second number, but you are not comparing first number with the third number.
I know. Just for the
That
sake
is
of
it.
simplicity. I'm not writing a very good exact program. I'm not a judge in a family. You're right. That's what he said. It's just I want you to understand how if else will work. But that's my motto. And my battery is dying as well. You are right. Right? You are right, Lakshmi. That's correct. It's not a
Okay,
perfect
sir.
program. Just wanted to understand that, right? Who get more now? So we make a comparison here. If, else if, and else. Else if is additional class if you want to compare more people. If and else, if is the topmost, else is the bottommost. In between, if you want to have any conditions, you would be adding else if. Is
Okay,
it
just
clear?
like a multiple condition. We want
Multiple
multiple condition. We can go with that.
Is it clear? Then what we have is ultimately who's typing. Okay, great. That's correct, Lakshmi. You are right.
Next step we have.
Next, we have looping. I think my battery will die in some time. I have to stop. Next, we have looping. Looping is very simple, guys. Whenever you want to repeat one operation more than one time, what do? We used to have. Let's assume I want to print 3 times. 1, 2, 3, I want to print. What do? Basically,
Use loop.
you do this.
Normally we
Yes
use
or no?
print statement,
Very
multiple
3,
times.
yeah.
How many
3
times
print
you use that?
statements. Yeah.
3 print statement. Yes or no? What if I want you to print 30?
It will become more complicated by using 30 statements.
Boss, you always jump 3 levels above and give me an answer. I ask you for a school level, you give me a PhD level answer. What if you want to print, sorry.
Then we can go for looping.
What if you want to print 30 in the same program?
30 statements we need to use.
The program, you need to print every other 30 times statement you should do. That's the answer I'm expecting, correct?
Yes, yes.
Yes, right.
What if you want to print 300?
300 statements we
300
need to
times.
use, yeah.
That is when now next statement is, do you prefer doing it?
No.
No.
Why? It's time consuming,
Will
it's
increase
boring, it will increase the length of the
complexity.
program, etc. It's not complex, it's no complex. Come on, who said
Sorry.
complexity?
Perfect. Yeah.
Apara,
Length of the
simply you cannot give such answers. Interviewers will catch hold of you. Please be careful. It's not complexity. Just take all that. It's not complex. Nothing complex, sir. 1, 2, 3 to 300. Is it complex?
length of the
Or is
That's the only answer.
consuming.
time consuming and length of the program. That's the only answers, right? Even a school kid will perform it now, correct? No complexity. Okay. Now, assuming that you want to perform it, it's very lengthy and time consuming. That's where we have a loop. First simple loop is for. For int is a data type you all know now. I equal to 1. How many times you want to print it now? Let's say, for example, 30. Let's say for the sake
300.
of thing, 10. The 300 will print the complete screen. Assuming the 10 for 300, right?
Yeah.
Just I'm saying you catch hold of the current doesn't mean that you directly go and catch hold of the current now. Just for that, right? Okay. System.out.println. Now what do I have now? That's all.
Yeah.
I know this loop. This is a looping statement. It will start from 1, go till 10. Obviously, I need to put an equal.
Equal to or 0
1 to 10, 1 less than equal to up to 10 times it will print. Every time it will increase the value of I counter, right? So what can I do now? Happily
remove that.
Comment it.
all right.
It will print 10.
What happened? I made a mistake. System mode println. Thank God it didn't show me 300 times. What if you copied and pasted with erroneous command?
300 errors will be given. Yeah.
That error will
It will give you 3 and now it will give you only
one.
One error.
1.
Yeah.
So looping saves you, right?
Yes.
Now you see 1 to 10. The job is easy. The job has become easy. Correct? Yes or no? Same thing what you have is other flavors of loop. While you declare a variable I equal to 1, right? I less than equal to 10, you print that. This is other format, but the structure is different. It's more like, you want to go ice cream shop, but the flavors are different. Somebody will ask for strawberry flavor, somebody will ask for vanilla flavor, something like that. So you declare initial value while it is less than 10, and what should also do?
Increment.
Yes. It is a different way of doing the looping. You initialize a value, check a condition. As long as this condition is true, you print it and increment it. So that is when it will hold. What if you don't increment it?
It will print 1.
It will be stopped. No, it will not stop. It's continue.
Yes, it's endless loop. Now also it prints 1 to 10, right? Assuming that I forget to increment the loop counter, what will happen?
Infinity time it will be start to print. It will not stop.
It keep printing one
printing same value. Yeah.
until you break the program. Why? What are you doing?
Always.
You are incrementing. You're always checking.
Condition is
The
not
condition
getting
is
false.
true, it prints.
Yes.
Condition is true, it prints. Condition is true, it prints. Will it ever come to 10?
No.
No.
Only when it will come
No.
to 10, you keep
On increase.
incrementing. If you don't do increment, it will not come to a place at all. Clear?
Yes, Rahul.
That is why. We have also have one more flavor called do while, but I think I'm afraid my Mac battery will stop. Only 3% it is there. I will put a stop here, right? So any questions so far of what we have discussed, guys?
Here can I have one question, like where we can use while and where we can use for?
For is it? We will probably take it tomorrow. I'll explain.
Oh,
No
okay,
problem.
fine.
Right? Thanks. Anything else? Because I have to stop it now.
Yeah.
3% for 2 reasons. Right? Any questions so far? What we have discussed? Probably I took a bit long time in the beginning. What I didn't plan for is PATH and CLASSPATH. Probably I hope it was useful to you. You guys are making the benefits, right? That's something I want to understand.
Yes,
you
Raghavan. It was a
find
great
the
session.
purpose of the 2 hours that you are spending, right?
Yes.
Even though it is.
Yes, Raghavan.
I'm
Yeah,
happy
sure.
to.
Because you see, we know what we are doing, but coming to the base thing, we are not unable to speak about it.
Okay.
But
I'm not also not able to speak, Dhananjay. Upper or who is, I'm also not able to speak, but I'm jokes apart. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad indeed. Right. Okay.
But
Okay. Anything else? Any questions from anybody?
I feel there is some exercises down there. Could you please paste it so we'll get there?
Sure, but we need to go there a bit. Yeah, you can do that as well. Calculate the total number of marks and average of 5 students. If you can do that, that is great. Second assignment, you can take it. You declare a program with variables, you give some values and print the sum and average. Take that as a program. That's good. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Anything else?
That's it.
Thank you, Lakshmi. I'm glad indeed, Lakshmi. Thank you. All right. Okay. Thanks everyone for joining. So stay connected. So I haven't prepared any slides today. It's just a direct interactive classes. So the recording as always will be uploading into the YouTube. And I hope you get access to that. You can refer to that and please do practice your programs. That will only make you better, right? Don't just stop with what we have learned. You need to practice more. All right, guys. Obviously, there is a backlog. Yeah. Okay.
You will be upload this video into YouTube or?
Yes, I'm uploading in my channel.
Okay.
I'm sharing the link as well.
Yeah. Please.
Yeah.
Okay. I think you are not added, right? I'll add you. Who is it? Bipasha, right? Bipa. Who is that? Bhupendra Shai. I don't know. What is his name? Okay, yes, Bhaskar Raju, or I don't know. Who is that?
Vishal, I guess.
Bishal. Yeah, I meant to add him. I think he's not there. I'll add him into the chat, right? I have his number here. Yeah, thank you. I have copied it. Okay.
Could you please add me as well, even I have not added?
Who?
Dashika.
Dashika, can I have your number, please, Dashika?
Yeah, I'll put it down in the chat.
Hey, Saranya, thank you for joining. I think I'm seeing you for the first time. I hope you are able to make some benefit out of the class, Saranya. Can you speak up? Sorry, Surya, my bad. Surya Venu. Surya, you can share your number, Surya. Please share your number. I'll get that added. Yeah. Okay, guys. Thank you. I have to stop the session to save my battery. Yeah. Thanks everyone for joining. We'll catch up again tomorrow, guys. Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
yeah, thank you.
Take care.
sir.
Bye bye. Bye.
Yeah.
Take care, guys. Catch up again tomorrow.